Hello everybody, we're live. We're starting off a little bit different today. I thought I would show you how I reorganized my Alex cart. I think it's called an Alex cart. Hi Juta. Hi Dar. So right now I'm just looking at my phone screen. So there's chat on the side. So hopefully I'm going to see everything. So we're going to start here just for a few minutes and then we'll go to my desk. So I've reorganized this this cart. Hi Linda. So I'm gonna just try not to have my leg in there. Let's do that again. What hurts? I'm confused. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm hoping that my microphone's working better today. Hi Becky. Hi Keeks. So I've done a room tour, and in the room tour I did do a tour of this cart, but I decided to reorganize it. So I'm just going to go ahead and show that. Hi Pamela. So on the top here, I've got jelly prints that are kind of like basic colors that are not full of patterns. Hello Sam Jackson from BC, welcome. I'm in Alberta, so I'm your neighbor. So I've got it in a rainbow order. So I found that I wasn't using everything. Hi Anina. Do you guys hear me okay? So some of them might not just be that color. There might be a little bit of mixture. So we're going to just go through this cart here, and then we're going to go to my desk and I'm going to show you my new stencil. Hi Lizzie Jean. I don't have many yellow prints, I noticed. So I've got these organized by base color. And these are kind of just like, they might be brayer offs or they might be gel prints. And then last but not least, we have red. Hi, Marsh. And they're mostly 8 by 11, 8.5 by 11, but there's a few smaller ones here. So that's the new top drawer. The second drawer is similar to how it was. So I still have my metallics, black and white and neutrals, but I kind of subcategorized them. So that's metallics, and these might be brayer offs or they might be gel prints. These are mostly blacks. These are more whitish. And then these are more like neutrals. So I'm hoping it's going to help me because I do tend to go more by color, I notice. And then I also have, when I did that session on transparencies, your son and his family are moving to Alberta. Well, my condolences. And then here I have tissues and thin papers, and they're not categorized by color. They're just kind of all in there, so I can rifle through that. Hi, Jackie. And then here I've got papers with more patterns to them, kind of organized by cool colors. So these have more patterning to them. So that's more cool colors. This is like so purples and pinks and blues. These are more greens and blues. And then these are more warm colors. I should probably put like a clip on those. So if I'm looking for something with more pattern, I can go in here. And then these are more like really eclectic mixes of, or just kind of different things. And then I put my brayer offs here. Again, bold, cool, bold, warm, and then neutral. So these are more like brayer offs. Because, you know, you can use your brayer offs. And then bold, cool. And then I wrote soft. So these are kind of like more muddy or lighter colors. Now, if I get more, I might have to switch again to more of like a, maybe like a box system or a bucket system. And so that was the third drawer. And then the fourth drawer, I decided to put my smaller pieces and bits and bobs, again, by color order, with black and white also, neutral, metallics, and then rainbow. So like these will have kind of like multicolored prints. And then I have a smaller baggie with smaller pieces. And those are all in those little envelopes. So let's say I was working on a collage yesterday and I needed orange. I wanted something orange for planets. So I grabbed my orange pack and then I rifled through like sort of somewhat bigger papers and then smaller bits. So that's my new system for organizing my collage papers. I won't go through all of those. They're basically the same. And then here I have more specialty like botanicals. I got my cyanotypes there, desk papers, and then sort of projects or ideas kind of on the go, or specialty papers like papers Sophia sent me. So Sophia sent me a bunch of cool papers. I don't want to mix them with mine. Kathy Arbor sent me a bunch of kind of botanical eco print, faux eco print. And then the bottom drawer is still kind of my keepers, my larger pieces. So like this piece here, that's a large piece that I like. Hi, Diane. Hi, Beth. Just catching up on chat here. You want to take all bellies and stencil and doodle on them. Jellies or bellies? So like my larger ones that I like, but I don't, I don't plan on framing, but I want to keep them like this. I thought might make a good journal cover someday, but I'm just going to keep it in here for now. And then some older, what are these? Some finished prints. And then I also have some finished prints in my portfolios and my art journals. So yeah, so that's my new system. Like this one here, that's from 2023. Where am I going to put that? So yeah, so they're all just kind of big things in here. Whew. So there's my feet. So can you guys hear me okay? All right, I'm going to try something. I'm going to bring you to my desk, but I'm going to see. I think when you're arting, you often reorganize things in attempts to use things better. So I'm going to see if I can flip the camera around to me. I don't know. There we go. Here I am. Hi. I thought maybe I should make more of an effort to show you my face and what I look like. I have makeup on today and my hair is somewhat done. The sound is good. Excellent. And then if you want to see my room tour, there's a video on that. And then I put some of my finished things up here that I like. I want to, over on this wall, I do want to put some picture, so that's like a sofa bed. I do want to put some shelves there so that I can put kind of things I have up on that. I can put different things that are current. Hi, Star. So we're gonna walk over to my desk. So this is what I look like. I've got my reading glasses on so that, thanks, Lizzie Jean. I've got my reading glasses on so I can see the chat. And then I have my other glasses I'm gonna switch to in a second. So it's weird seeing my sweaty face. I'm all sweaty. The cart was cool. Thank you. And that's an IKEA cart. I think it's called Alex drawers. It's the wider one. I was thinking I could always get another set and put it on top if I need to go vertical. All right, so I'm going to switch you around and put you down on my desk. So let's do that. There we go. So now I have to put you into my ring light. So it's going to be a little bit wonky. Close your eyes if you get seasick. So I'll try to show my face a little bit more often. Okay. I'm going to do a test. Last week I thought my microphone was on, but it wasn't. So I'm going to walk away from my camera and you guys can tell me if you think you can still hear me. So this is a test because it looks like my mic's on, but it's not, I'm not sure. So if I walk over here, I'm talking in the same volume. We're testing, we're walking. Can you hear me? All right, I'm coming back now. I'm gonna change my glasses out. Let's see. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to, this is what we're going to play with today, is my new stencil called Y-Tube. So yes, you can hear me. The sound goes low. The sound goes low, hey? But it shouldn't, because I have this lapel microphone. I've got it. I just took it off. It looks like it's connected. I don't understand why. I just clicked on it. Can you hear me better now? I clicked on the noise reduction. I'm going to walk across the room again. Can you hear me here? We're testing, we're testing. Sorry if you're new to my channel and you're like, well, I wish you'd start the art already, but I want to make a good experience for people when they watch the replays. There, could you hear me just as well when I walked away? Hi, Jolu. Hi, Ellen. Loud and clear and far. Loud and clear, near and far. Now on that second take, was it better when I walked away? Okay, anyhow. So my idea is we're going to take this stencil. This is the 9x12. It also comes in 8x10, and it's available from PM Artist Studio. There's their website. And I'm listed under, I think I'm listed under Yolande Alexander if you look for by designs. Both were good. Okay. All right. So then here I took this little guy out of the Collage Soup Robotropica and I pre-fussy cut it so you guys wouldn't have to watch me fussy cut. So my idea is to do a medium to long haul. There's the Robotropica. Uh-oh, I have to sneeze. I'm gonna cover my microphone. Woo! Allergies. Woo! All right, so my idea is I'm gonna do a medium to long haul, and then we're gonna collage this on and maybe come up with a fun saying or something. Hi, Mariah. All right, so that's what we're gonna work on today. And then I just wanted to show you what I've been up to this last week. So this is a reverse collage in my Unforgettable Ancient Sites. So this is inspired by Dee Dee Willingham, so using some of her techniques, but I don't have the same books that she has. She has a lot of the Abandoned series, and I don't have those, but this particular page, you know, looks something like this. It had the Colosseum here, and it had another picture of the Colosseum up here. So that's original. And oops, part of that's original. And then I added on a picture from a travel magazine that I had of La Sagrada Familia, which is a Gaudi design church in Barcelona. So I've actually been to Barcelona and I've been inside that church. And it's got 4 facades, and each one, I think, is it 4? Each side has like a different style to it. So one side's really, I don't know the terminology, kind of classic. One side's very free-form. And on the free-form side, so this is more classic, but on the free-form side, I felt like I was in a spaceship, like an alien spaceship. So I wanted to put that here, like as the spaceship. And then I used some cheap alcohol markers that I got from the dollar store. So I got 2 sets, $3.50 each. And I tried coloring with them, and the tips kind of get really yucky. So I thought it's great to use in mixed media. So I just use alcohol markers to colorize some of the architecture in here. So I had put this down with matte medium, and there's matte medium on top. So that would ruin your markers. But because this is such a cheap set, I didn't care. So I just kind of colorized stuff. And then you use paint to paint out things. This is from a magazine. That's like the inside of an eyeball. And then I used the alcohol markers to color part of the building here. And then I used gel print. So this is a way you can use your gel print. So I used a gel print here. I added a bit of white, yellow paint on the top to make it look like a dome. And then these planets, those are gel prints. And then that's a gel print there. And then I painted out. So obviously, you paint out everything. This is Dee Dee Willingham style. Check her out. She's awesome. And then I fussy cut a couple images from the collage soup book, Robotropica. And then this little one here, instead of fussy cutting it, I just tore around it, and then I painted around it to help it blend in. Because Dee Dee explains that if you tear pages, you can blend them in better. So you can see here, this magazine, I tore it. So you can see the edges, but once you varnish it and stuff, it's not as noticeable. I struggled the most with trying to get this sort of glow around the dome. I don't think it's 100% successful. I did try to blend in the colors here. For that, I actually used a Pitt pen. So a Pitt pen is and this is a brush one. A Pitt pen is an India ink pen that is permanent once it's dry, and alcohol inks don't reactivate with water. So if you're doing this and you want to put a varnish over top, or you want to use matte medium to get it down, it's important to use water resistant things. Hi Alice, or Maya. Ellen, you've been there too. It's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. So that's my little, one of the things I did this last week. And then I also worked on my grid collage book a little bit as well. So I think last week I showed you guys this page and this page. And I think I showed you this page, but I hadn't posted it yet. But then I did this page here. This is posted on Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook, I actually have like a photo video, like a video showing photos of the progress, how this kind of ended up like this. And I did use these alcohol markers in the art process video that's just still pictures. I did try to put the supplies I was using for that step in the video. So that's on my Facebook. And I'm missing chat. There we go. So I think, I don't know, I think this one to me, like, you make up your own mind what you think it is, but in my brain, this was like a cat, like a psycho cat. And I showed this to my husband and he said, that reminds me of a cat. I said, yes, me too. Like, I like that sort of cat-like to me. And then some people liked this one. I found this one interesting. I kind of liked that one. So this started off, if you see my Facebook post, I had just used a graphite or charcoal pencil to write like make art. So M-A, I think it was a small a K, an E over here, and then a big A across, and then a little R, and then a T. And then just to break the blank page. Hi, Missy. So that, and I talked about these markers already. So these are cheap. And then I also, the way I tested them was I had found this coloring book in the dollar store. and I thought it was really cute. It's got little axolotls, and I did saxolotl. So I did test these markers on the last page to see, they did blend okay. They were talking about using that tip-to-tip blending method where you take two markers and you hold them tip to tip. I would not do this with my good markers, but I thought I'll try with these cheap markers. You hold them and then the one grabs the color from the other one and then you get a gradient. But these brush tips are pretty crappy. They didn't last very long, but you can see how it, oh, let's try that again. That didn't really, let's try one more time. Maybe hold it a little longer. So I've seen some people do these for lettering, brush lettering, doing this tip-to-tip thing. I think there was a line of markers, alcohol markers called chameleon markers. There we go. So then we should see it change from dark to light. So I tried doing with that, but they're not very good markers, so that's why I thought, okay, I'm going to use them in mixed media. But if you're going to use them in mixed media, make sure it's just for art journaling, because alcohol markers are not light fast. He's kind of cute. I thought I could do the, I could try cat and paste technique using Crayola crayons on top. I almost like the backside better, but I could use the Crayola crayons on top and try to sketch out some stuff. So anyways, that's this little axolotl book from the dollar store. So I don't know, Snaxolotl. $4.75. The dollar store is not the dollar store anymore. This is Dollarama. So it's from, the company's from Australia, and this is printed and manufactured in China. Hinker Studio. All right. Let's start this long, mid to long haul. So what I thought is I would use sort of this as the color inspiration. So I grabbed, well, I guess not fully, but I grabbed a bunch of paints that we're going to use. I don't know what order, but I thought this would be fun. And then I have a plan for the pickup, but I'm not going to tell you until I know if I'm going to stick with that plan. So that's the colors we're going to use. You can't see them because they're off camera. Just going to pull it over. So that's all the colors we're going to use. Okay. In no particular order, except I will start with black. I'm going to start with black. I like to start my long hauls with black. And when I first get a stencil, I like to do the long haul with it because it's sort of the stickiest time that the most sticky that this stencil is ever going to be. Now, because this is a 9x12 stencil, I could use it on a larger plate to get more of the image. But I'm just trying to decide if I have my little surfer, let's call her lady, surfer robot lady. I think we'll do that because then this will frame the edges. Or where it's white, that's going to be our pickup color. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, just so we have just a smidge of something there. And press it down, and then we're going to say goodbye to our little surfer. See you later. Thanks for all the link star. I'm going to push these over here. And you know, I was pretty organized, but I forgot to grab some Braille off paper. So let me grab few sheets of just regular copy paper for my brayer offer. And let's see if we can get organized here. Where's Big Peggy? She's right under my desk. She's always just close by. But the reason I'm not using Big Peggy today is because I didn't want a bunch of big papers left over. I did cut up some of these, the medical tissue paper, medical exam paper, and a couple of sheets of tracing paper. So I wanted to keep my medium pulls, I want to keep them smallish. So that's why I didn't use Big Peggy. But that's a very good question. Big Peggy is my 12 by 14 plate. Now sometimes when I do a long haul, I will start with paint under my stencil. Today I'm not going to. I'm just going to go straight to the plate, and we're going to start with black. So do you guys like the idea of starting each or some of the streams with my face and maybe a little bit of an organizational tidbit or tour? I can't always promise because some days my hair looks bad or whatever. So I'm pushing hard to get into all those crevices. And then, so the long haul is where you just keep your stencil on and you just keep pulling prints one after the other, and eventually the paint builds up on your stencil surface and you start pulling off more paint here, but you get a buildup of paint in the little cracks and crevices there. So that's number one. And then before it dries, you do the next color. So because I've got quite a bit of paint on there, I'm going to use a darker color. So this is ultramarine. This is a transparent paint, so it's going to mix with the black pretty well. If you use copy paper for your interim prints, you can't keep them down too long because they will stick to the paint on the stencil, and then you'll have a fuzzy stencil. I'm not sure who started the whole long haul trend. I don't know if it was it Patricia, Mariah? Mariah, if you're still here, was it you guys that did the first thing that we called the long haul, or was it Eddie, or I don't know the Right, so there's number 2, and then you gotta put it somewhere to dry. I'm gonna do another one on here just to get a bit more of that paint off, and I might reuse this one. Diane's saying she gave up on gel printing yesterday because the humidity was horrible. Ugh. We've had a lot of rain here. For us, it's not that usual. See, it was starting to stick there. Got that one. And then, okay, let's go with red. I don't think so. Oh, I just bought this one, so I didn't take the lid off. I feel like it was Eddie or PM Artist Studio that, or I at least saw where it was first coined the term long haul. Hi, Joyce. So in the end print, you get a bunch of little bits of color showing through. Now that might be too much paint, but that's okay. And my hands are dirty. I'm just gonna clean my hands here a little bit. So people are saying that they wouldn't mind if I did like a little intro with some organizational tidbit, plus or minus my face. Now, I'm going to reserve the right to, you know, watch the replay and see if I'm comfortable showing my face that often. Now, when Patricia and Mariah do this, they use wet strength carnival tissue. So there's the red. Excuse my throat. Okay, and when I do it, I'm going to move it over to the other side. Let's do turquoise or aqua green. These are the Liquitex fluid. This one was cadmium red deep hue. Hi, Lydia. So we're doing a multi-layered session on the 8x10 gel plate using my new stencil design. It's called YouTube. Y-tube? Not YouTube. So I had a lot of paint on there, but I just left it because I didn't want to over mix it. Okay, now with that color there, I think instead of using another paper to pick it up, I'm going to just put some metallic that matches it. And let it blend together. And I'm hoping our mixed media collage at the end is going to be totally tubular, man. Hi, Miriam. There's this one. I like how the turquoise and the metallic kind of mixed in there. And let me just use my table. Okay, now let's go to Brilliant Purple. Hi, Create and Relate. Good to see you. I'm going to use a different, it's getting a bit muddy because this is staying wet. So I'm just going to dry this off, or I could have used a new brayer. So I'm going to just wipe it off and I'm going to use a new brayer. I just had an idea. just sort of was picturing something. So I might do this a slightly different way than some of the other long hauls you may have seen. I'll talk about it when I get there. All right, here's purple or lavender. Okay, and what else do we have? I don't want something that's going to muddy it too much. Let's do this bright pink. I have a little bit left. I'm going to try to empty this. This fluorescent pink. Thanks, Star. Star Traveler. Now, some of you, I know your real name's different than what you show here, so I'm going to alternate my brayers so that they have a chance to dry more in between. Okay, and I think I'm going to have to cut some more paper. This is tracing paper. The other stuff was the medical exam paper. This is the tracing paper. You like the metallic, Jackie? Hi, Zenjen. I'm happy you're here in the balcony. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had fun with all your company. Okay, there's that one. And let's go with, so we got that. Let's go to a yellowy orange. This is Montmartre brand orange yellow. I had that totally wrong. I said yellowy orange and it's orangey yellow. Okay, and we're gonna change our brayer paper. So that's that one done. I'll put it in my stack. This one here. It's getting a little muddy, but I'm just gonna make it a bit thinner. That kind of made it a nice sort of quinacridone orange color, didn't it? The pink with the yellow orange. This is the tracing paper. So we're starting to get some of that lift off of the stencil itself. There's that one. Okay, not sure if this piece I cut is big enough. Yeah, sort of. Okay, let's do green. So I'm trying to make it so that my sequential colors don't make too much mud. So in theory, you know, yellow, I'm going to just put that one away. Yellow, orange, and green should not make mud, right? In theory. Because I want to see little pops of individual color in our final print. And I'm not an expert in the long haul. I think Eddie Makes Art has done a lot of videos about it. Okay. And this isn't my favorite green, but when it's mixed with other colors and it gets a little bit of a browniness to it, I don't mind it. So I forgot to put it on the other side here. Okay. Ah. There's this one. All right, I feel like doing a metallic. I think I'll do this metallic pastel green again. But I need some more paper. We cut a piece here. Just got a roll of the medical exam paper, so I'm just using my side desk here. So if you like the beginning and you want to see more of my art room, like I said, I do have a tour. It's a bit of an older video now, but it's a video. It's not a live, it's a video. So you can look under my videos for that. Hi, Julie Parker. Now, I believe the trick with the long haul is to do these layers quickly and successively. Not successfully, but successively. But I just had to take a paper. Oh, we didn't use this one yet. This is the pastel green. The one we used before was the Craft Smart Aquamarine. Hey, Jamie. Is this APG Jamie or a different Jamie? Okay, and that's still wet. It shouldn't be wet. It's not bad. I'm gonna brayer beside this one here. Oh, that's not enough. Oopsie, I mixed it with the, oopsie, so now it's gonna be a mixture of these two. So one's like a lighter, ooh, this would be cool on that black paper. That black deli paper. Do I have any of it left? Not really. No, I don't have any. I have to buy more of that black deli. Oh, yeah, I do have some. So I'm gonna use the black deli paper. This is the Estoon brand that Dee Dee sent me, but I don't. I was gonna order it, but I don't. My link doesn't have. Ooh, me likey. Oh, that's the best one yet. Look at that. Check-moi ça. You got the purple and the green. That one's gorgeous. I love that one. Okay, let's put that there. Different Jamie. Oh, Jamie Heron, nice to see you. Okay, let's see. We didn't do this purple one yet. This is a color shift. Ooh, that splattered all in one section. I think we're close to having all of the colors that we wanted to do. I think I'm going to do this on the black paper too because it looks very subtle. So we'll do that on the black deli paper. So this black isn't really tissue paper, it's deli paper. It's got like a wax finish, so it's a little bit more hardy, sturdy. You can see it's pulling off stuff from the stencil. That looks really cool too. That looks almost, even though we didn't use any gold, that looks gold because this color shift must have like a gold blend to it. You shake that. So I like that. Okay, we're getting near the end. Did we use this color yet? Don't know. Let's use this. Okay. And then I'd be crazy. So my idea is I'm going to, after the next color, I think we're going to use pink, that bright pink again. And then we're going to pull off the stencil and let it dry and then do a pickup. That's a lot of paint. Probably too much paint. Hi, Christine. You missed my cameo appearance at the beginning. If you want to see what I look like, have to watch the replay. And I'm just using this because I don't want the paint all over my hands, and a little bit is going through. So that's a lot of paint. So we're going to do another, I'm going to do another pull. Get a bit more of that stuff out. See, there's not as much paint coming through because there's less paint now. All right. So that's this one. We didn't get a lot of paint off of the stencil on that one because I think my layer was too thick. All right, so now we're going to use the pink again, but I'm not going to do the pull. We're going to pull the stencil off, and perhaps we will put the stencil down on top of this one here. We'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to put the pink through the openings. So this is going to be just to fill the spaces. And I don't want it too thick. Oops, need a brayer off. Okay, so I'm going to take, oh, I didn't get, well, I'm going to take this off and we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to put this down on top of here. Now it should line up. But don't leave it down because then your paper will stick. Ask me how I know. Ooh, I like it. That's 2 layers on that one. Okay, so we're gonna let those dry. We're gonna let all that dry, and then my plan is I'm gonna pick it up with this bright orange, not orange, yellow. The fluorescent yellow combined with the pastel metallic yellow, or color shift. We're gonna mix those in and we're gonna pick that up. So if we pull out this back paper and we flip over our acrylic sheet, you can see, be careful not to touch that surface. You can see, it's hard to see through all the plate, but you're gonna see, like, hopefully you'll see multiple colors. It's not really, there we go. You can see how there's multiple colors in each little window. So we're gonna let that dry. Okay, Okay, while that's drying, let's do a flip through of all the papers. And then that's quite thick. I could actually do a rub off. Let me grab, before I show you the review of the papers, let's do a rub off of that onto just a copy paper. This helps clean the stencil a bit so it doesn't get so thick. Now you have to be careful that you don't, depending on the stencil, you got to do this. So where these little things, I don't want to wipe that way because it'll flip it up. So I'm just kind of wipe in the direction. When we did the my staircase one, it was the same idea. You had to kind of hold down the flippy parts, and this will thicken your stencil a little bit. Now the Yupo is quite sturdy, but it's, you know, not 100% sturdy. And then you can do a glaze over this, which we could do too while we're waiting. So here there's more connectors, so I can kind of go back and forth more, if that makes sense. Here I'm just wiping in the direction of the stencil. Here I've got a flippy, so I gotta be careful. I get a fresh baby wipe. Does that make sense? Hi, Anne. Julie says that stencil makes her think of Star Wars. I could see that. Stay on target. Stay on target. Almost there. Use the Force, Luke. I remember seeing Star Wars in the theater when I was a kid. I loved it. I think that's one of my reasons that I love space and sci-fi stuff. That and watching Star Trek reruns with my brother. Okay, so it's not 100% clean, so I could go put that in a tub of water. Do I have a tub that I can use? I need a tray that's big enough. Now I'm walking around in my room. Do you still hear me as clearly, or am I less easy to hear? Okay, I found a tray. I'll just show you my tray before I add water. So I'm just gonna put it in this tray from the dollar store, and I'm gonna put some water in there to let it soak, and then all those layers will come off. So can you still, I'm in the bathroom now, can you still hear me, or am I hard to hear? I'm trying to do some testing here to figure out if I need to link my microphone better. Just washing my hands into this tray while I'm at it. So I'm going to come back in a second here, and you guys let me know if you could still hear me. Sound is clear. Good. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to do a review of the prints, and then we'll maybe do a glaze on this one, and then pull that other print and do our mixed media collage. So there's the first one was the black. Now these are not going to be in order because I don't remember what order. I think this was in order. This is the next one. Here, I'm going to zoom you guys in a bit, I think, so I don't have to hold it up. Just going to wait a second to see if that's the correct zoom. The Tribble episode, yeah. You named one of your guinea pigs Tribble. That's cute, Diane. Loved Lost in Space. I never watched Lost in Space much. I did watch the Jetsons. I like the Jetsons. Okay, so that one has the blue with the black. And now I don't remember the order, but I know red was fairly early. So there's the red one. And then I think perhaps this one was next because I see a little bit of red in it. There's that one. And then I think this one was up there, I'm not sure. And then we got that one. I should count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 'I like this one. 8, 9, 10. This is one of my favorites. That's on the black deli paper. 11. This is with the purple flash that looks gold. It's called Blue Violet Flash. Was it that one? Yeah, it must have been. Oh, I lost count. Let me try to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. That one's kind of boring. So that one would go, well, they're all going to go in my tissue section, but I could put that in my blue section. 13. It's 14. Very 80s. And then we have our clean off. 15. So we got a good pile to add to my tissue paper section. So I think what I would do is I would fold it like that so I knew that all of these were this print in a long haul form. And then I could just flip through and see which colors I want. And then we got our brayer offs. Got that brayer off, this one, and that one. So those will go in my brayer off section of my new organizational thing. Okay, let's get another jelly plate. Let's see if this one is dry yet. This one's almost dry, almost dry. I gotta let it dry so I don't smudge anything. This one has some stuff that apparently came off onto this paper. When we were doing that transfer from the collage soup book, remember that jellyfish page that was very fine lines? So that's kind of cool. We could add some colors to that. But let's add, now I went to the art store and I ended up buying a few colors, a few paints. They're moving, so they have a moving sale, which I didn't know. I just kind of ended up there. Instead, I was driving, looking for something to do urban sketching, and I was like driving in that direction, like, oh, I might as well go to the art store. And then I got there, and they're like having a moving sale. They're moving at the end of July, closer to me, so that's cool. All right, so this is transparent red iron oxide. So it's transparent, which is good for doing glazing. So we're gonna just go ahead and put a little bit on here. I don't have that many, like, other than the golden, some of the golden fluids, I don't have that many golden products. Well, I have a few golden fluids. I bought these when I went to the art store. The Jenkins green, which actually we could do, should put a little bit of that in there too. Oh, and I'd have to open it. And then the open, the carbon black open, because last week I used that blue, which was open ultramarine blue, which is not my favorite blue. So I did add a bit of black to it last week. Ooh, speaking of last week, while the other print's drying, I'll show you the alterations I made to one of the prints. Ooh. And I'll explain to you where it went. Jenkins! I know, I had to get some Jenkins. I don't love a lot of the green paints I have, so I'm hoping I'm gonna like that one. So there we go. So there's that. And then what we could do is we could, let's say I wanted to add some details. I could use the stencil and do like another mini long haul and just stamp it onto this. But anyhow, so that's a glaze. And let's see if this one's ready to go. So now the yellow and the yellow color is going to kind of orange out these areas a bit. So it's not going to be so pink. So I'm hoping it's going to kind of go with our little surfer. Yeah, I was worried that they were, Christine, I was worried that they were closing. Okay, I'm going to pick this up on some good paper. I'm tempted to pick it up on black since I'm using this pastel yellow. No, let's just pick it up on 32 pound. Okay, so let me give this a good shake. It is a bright yellow. Hi, Jenny. So I'm going to mix it with a slightly less bright yellow. So this pastel metallic yellow isn't quite as bright. Now I'm going to need to do a brayer off, I'm sure, which I can add to my brayer off section because I don't have a lot of yellow base prints. Now this is still wet, so I'm going to switch to my other one because I don't want to mix. Kind of do. I took off too much. I'm going to wait. I'm going to add another layer. I took off more than I wanted. Ah! I want more. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and redo that. So if you feel like you're taking off too much paint, you don't have to finish it. You can just wait and add more paint. So I'm going to wait on that one. Okay, let's go. I'm going to show you. So I don't have that print I did last week. Ooh, Michaels has added pan pastels. Interesting. Now I did see if my art store had the new colors of pan pastels and they did not. So I'm hoping when they move, they will get them. So I'm not going to be able to see chat here for a minute. I'm going to go to my notes. So what I did was, okay, so I brought, because that was such a big painting, the one we did last week, is I brought it to my mom's, for my mom to put on her wall. Oops. So that's how it looked. Remember, it was really quite large. I didn't like that. I didn't like this part here, so sorry for that. Maybe just turn my ring light off for a second here. Let's turn that off. Okay, less glare. So what I did was I added more gold to the vase. See that? I added a bit more gold so that you couldn't see through it so much there. That line really bothered me. And then I added a little bit more. but you could still see the hexagons. And then when I brought it to her, the windows over here, and it really caught the light. So the reason I wanted to bring it to her was, well, for a few reasons. One is because she's kind of getting disoriented, and she sometimes thinks that she has another room that they bring her to at night. So I thought if I could put up a piece of art in front of her and say, look, Mom, that's the art I made you. Yeah, this is the room that you were in. So, and it's large enough that she can see it. So it's like facing her bed. Yeah, so I'm hoping, I'm hopeful. I want to let that dry. I want it more of a solid yellow. So we're going to try that again. Maybe we'll, should I bring in another yellow that's not so transparent? No, I think we'll just use the same one and just use a thicker, but I gotta let it set. So if I try to add more yellow now and I started rolling it, the roller would start picking up these other sections. So we don't want that. But that's gonna go in my yellow section of my base print. What else can we talk about while we're waiting? Oh, I could get my fan out. Let's get the fan out. What did Christine say? Oh, bye, Becky. Nothing like watching paint dry. Maybe I'll mix this with a little bit of white to make it, because I think there's enough of this on there. So I'm going to do this with some white for the next layer. And then we're going to add our surfer. Maybe think of some words. So I'm hoping that's going to work well on there. Bye, Utah. Good to see you. Take care. This was from the dollar store, I think, this fan. It recharges, and it has a little stand. So there's a little stand for it I can put on my desk. So you could actually face it to you if you're like hot in the stand. It has 3 levels of medium, slow, medium, high. Oh, so I was going to talk about something else too. So that on low. So the other thing is, I was saying how I didn't like that line. So I have an idea how to alter that technique to make it more better. So I thought I could do that today too, but I'm like, no, that's too much to do in one day. Let's just stay focused and stay, you know, calm. So we're just doing this today. But I'm going to try my idea and film it. And then if it works, I'll put it out as a video. If it doesn't work, I'll show you guys the failure next week. How about that? Yes, Jenny, I'm in Canada. That's correct. Okay, that's dry. Okay, we're dry. This fan has been very helpful. All right, so we're gonna use this yellow with a little bit of white, but I think I'm gonna mix it over here. I'm going to mix it on this other gel plate. So we have like an even pale yellow, but still bright, you know, maybe a little bit more brightness. And then we'll be sure we have enough on the gel plate to do our pickup, but not too much. I don't want my paper to get all wrinkly. And I think I forgot to say that I appreciate you guys joining me in the live. I appreciate people watching the replay. I feel like, sometimes I feel like, you know, imposter syndrome, where like, what right do I have to show anybody how to do anything? But then I do it for fun. I do it for the company. It really pushes me, I think, to do different things. Christine says, I need to stay away from the dollar store. Got rained out at the beach, end up in the dollar store today with a Peppa the Pig figurine. Just because she has an art easel. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to take this pale but yet bright yellow, and we're going to put it on here. And then we're going to brayer it, and hopefully we have enough paint. We'll have a good layer. That out of the way. Brayer it off there. Okay. I wanted it solid, but without the traction. Ooh, traction lines. Like the, there we go. That feels better. That feels definitely more solid. So I'm just trying to even it out, pull lightly. Got a few lines in there. I don't want to get greedy Smurf and try to make it too perfect. Okay. Now it feels like my camera looks crooked. I'm going to fix that in just a moment. I do try to look at the screen and see. So the nice thing about the 32-pound hammer mill paper, it's still fairly, it's not super thick. It's not like mixed media paper. Let's see, is that better? But it's not so thin that you get a bunch of wrinkles. Ooh, yes, Create and Relate, she makes, she does a lot of interesting, like, paper arts. What did you make the 3D Peppa Pig out of? Create and Relate. I forget your name. I want to say Beth, but I don't know if that's correct. I'm going to just try to wipe that up. And Dee Dee was showing a bunch of her art books about sketching, which was a really fun stream. And she was mentioning Cat and Paste's video where she did a, not sarcastic, what would you call it? Stacy. Did I recently move? I moved about a year ago, so I have 2 art room tours on my channel. One is from my old house that I was in for at least 16 years. And that video, I think, is about 2 or 3 years ago. And then I have a art tour from, I would say, about a year ago in this space here. A cheeky how-to, a cheeky behind-the-scenes YouTube advice video. Okay. Thanks, Lizzie Jean. So while we're waiting for this to dry, does anybody have any requests of something they'd like to see or any questions for me? for those that came in late, I can show you what I showed at the beginning. I showed this mixed media collage, reverse collage I did based on D.D. Willingham's techniques. I showed this dollar store coloring book I found with some axolotls in it. And it has some cute little pictures. I'd love to see what Cat and Paste would do with this book. And then I showed you my cheap acrylic marker, cheap alcohol markers I got at the dollar store. And I showed you my most recent grid collage. There we go. And I've got the next one ready to go. I'm trying to use different art mediums. Ooh, sorry, I hope you didn't hear my stomach. Oh, sorry, you couldn't really see that. I didn't show that very well. So this is page 2. That's page 1. I find these colors very reminiscent of the 80s, which is the era that I was a teenager and young adult. Will I be doing any watercolor techniques? It's National Watercolor Month. Yes, it is National Watercolor Month. I don't feel qualified to show watercolor techniques on my channel. I like to show, I can show you like watercolors I've done. Diane, I'd like to see a reverse painting video. Do a masterboard, then draw out focal objects and block out the background. It's fascinating. Yes. Hey, Janet. Janet does great watercolors. You should check her out. Here's an example of a reverse painting that I did. That I did live a couple years ago. So this one we did on the wet strength tissue using alcohol inks and a stencil. And then I don't remember, I think I put the tissue onto this canvas first, and then I used a stencil that I made and I reverse painted around it to make it a shoe. That's what you mean, right, Diane? To make like a shape. The second one beside the cat is a dog. Oh, no, I didn't see a dog there. Let's see, is it a dog? This one? I don't see a dog. Hi, Sherry. Diane says yes, like birds, etc. Yeah, I'll put that on my list of videos to do. Next week, we could try something like that next week. Another project, well, this is a work in progress, a whip that I've had that I did a couple years ago, which was fun. I did these like little mini canvases. They are, I want to say 4x4. 4x4 from Walmart, I think. And we did that same thing where we did a, I guess it's kind of like grid journaling, isn't it? We did a large wet strength tissue pull. And then I'll have to watch the video. I can't remember if I glued it on the canvases together. I know I glued it on the canvases together like that. And then I cut it. I'll have to watch that video and then we could do something like this again. Here, let me zoom out a bit. So this one I've always meant to paint a canvas black and then mount these onto the black canvas and put them up in my space. Zoom out a bit more. So I really like this one, and so they all looked similar, and then I rearranged them. Yeah, I'm going to watch that video and maybe do something similar. So I should write those ideas down. Reverse painting, and then the grid on the canvas. Janet says it's called pareidolia. Seeing images that are not intended. Yes, I remember that came up in someone's stream, didn't it? Christine says, I think I have pareidolia, paranoia. Has a nose and eyes and a tongue. It looks like a happy sheepdog. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to write down those two requests. If you want to watch watercolor techniques, who was that asked that? Check out Janet's channel. She does a lot of watercolor on her streams. I like doing watercolor. It was Lizzie Jean. I like doing watercolor, but I don't tend to record it very much. So we've got reverse painting, maybe birds. And then I want to do another one of those, kind of like a masterboard grid on canvas. I'll call it that. Grid on canvas. And I'll have to refresh my memory, rewatch my own video. Okay. All right, let's see. This feels like it's ready to go. Let me turn off this little fan. Oh, that was so loud. Oh, ooh, that is yellow. Wow. She'd be bright. Whoops. I got some yellow still wet on the sides. I haven't learned from the Art Whisperer 88 to wipe the edges. Okay, I'm going to zoom in again a little bit. And then we'll do a little tour. So if yellow's not your color, and yellow's not always my color, I could have picked this up with something a bit more neutral. But what I want you to see is in this part here, you can see multiple colors. For example, like here. You see the multiple colors there? We did this a bit different. Typically, when I've seen people do long hauls, is after the last pickup of the tissue, you have all the openings and then they do one color for the whole pull. But I filled in the gaps with the pink and then I pulled it with the yellow. Maybe it would have looked better if I'd filled in the gaps with the yellow and then pulled it with the pink. I'm not sure. Missy says she's been doing the World Watercolor Month, 31 days. Yeah, I thought about doing it. I just thought about it and then I didn't do it. Let me just move some stuff out of the way. All right, let's do our collage. Ooh, that doesn't go now, does it? That's like too bright. Maybe we should tone it down. I'm wondering. What could I tone it down with? Or we could change our plan and we could add it to one of these ones. Nothing to say we have to do this on the final print, right? Let's audition it on these other pages. That's not bad. I could put that over like a background. So that's a contender. That's a no. That's a no. Might be okay. I'll say that's a contender. Then you guys can help me decide the final. That's a no. I'm going to say that's a no. That's too similar. That's a no. That's a no. I'm not sure. Maybe a contender. That's a no. That's a no. That could be if I put it, not sure. Please link the video to the mini canvas paintings. Okay, it was a live stream. I will link it. Let me add that to my note to self. I'm going to put add link to this video. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so which one? So that's option 1. Not feeling it. Okay, so I think we got 2 options. We've got this one, but I would glue this onto a background, I think. Or option 2. So we're going to say, I want you guys to do a poll. Teal or black? Teal. Okay, I'm going to have to write down this poll. So we got teal or black. We've got 1 teal, 1 black, 1 teal, 1 teal. Okay, I think everyone's voting for this one. Okay, we'll do that one. But I have to glue this down to something first. What if cream colored pages that we did? What if we do that this way? And then we could doodle a border. I like the cream color coming through. So I'm just going to use matte medium to go down. I'm just going to trim this a bit. We've got half an hour left to do this. Hi, April. Mama Juju. Okay, let's do that like so. And let's get some, let's tear it with a ruler. Where's my metal ruler? Is it funny how like you have one idea and then it doesn't, and that's okay. I'll use that for something else where you have an idea and it just doesn't work for what you're thinking. But that's one of the fun things about mixed media is you just change your idea. Oh, thanks, Dar. So Dar linked the video to the mini canvases above. Superstar Dar. Excuse me. So I recently watched a new series on Netflix called Four Seasons, based on an old movie from the 80s that was written by Alan Alda, and it starred Alan Alda and Carol Burnett. And it's a new modern take on that story, and the adaptation was written by Tina Fey. And Alan Alda makes a cameo in the series. So it was good. I enjoyed it. It's a good, I don't know if you guys remember seeing the original. Okay, there we go. So we're going to glue that down with some matte medium. So it's not going to go completely transparent. I'm going to use the golden matte medium here. And I'm going to grab a big paintbrush and another piece of wax paper. So I'm going to glue this, spread this out. So did anybody else see that series? And Steve Carell's in it. I like Steve Carell. It's funny how comedians can be very good dramatic actors. Like, I remember when Tom Hanks transitioned into doing movies, and Jim Carrey went from comedy to more serious roles like The Truman Show. And I think comedians have a lot of, I don't know, darkness or something in their souls that makes them good actors, you know? Okay, I'm gonna just try to get that centered. Maybe I'll fold it. No. Just gonna do the best we can. If it's not straight, that's okay. You remember the original movie, Anne? Yeah, I remember the original movie too. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I saw it in the theater or anything, but it was a good movie. Basically about one man's sort of midlife crisis and, you know, starts dating a younger woman and how the friends have to kind of deal with it. I won't give away the spoiler. So some of this paint's still a bit wet, so I'm just going to let it kind of spread. Hi, Raoul. Raoul, I started Squid Games. I finished episode 1. I'm very excited to watch the rest. Okay, that's pretty much down. Let's use our fan. Use this fan here. We could use a heat gun, but we'll use the fan. Sirens, yeah. I liked Sirens. It was different. I like Julianne more. It didn't end how I thought it would end, that's for sure. And that's on Apple TV though, right? Sirens? Okay, I'm going to wipe my hands with this matte medium. Ooh, an amazing surprise. Excellent. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to just check, make sure I'm not missing any chat. I do watch my replays so that I can scrub through chat to see what I missed. My chat doesn't render right away. I don't know if it's because I'm in Canada. It takes at least 12 hours, if not longer. Usually it renders in the middle of the night when I'm asleep. Hi, painting. Painting again. So I was lamenting at Dee's that I want to, every summer I say I'm going to do urban sketching this summer. I should just say I want to do sketching outside, whether it's urban or landscape or just like at a cafe or in my backyard. I really want to do that. I still haven't watched White Lotus. Okay. I use my heat gun. I think my heat gun will be better for this. I don't have to worry about melting my book like I would my Gelliplate. What we could do is put the surfer here and then maybe like a palm tree. House of Dragon. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Diane, I'd like to try shibori dyeing. Okay, let's put our dude on here, or a lady, our surfer lady. Can even do that. Move her to the edge. And let's use the matte medium again. Yes, plein air sketching. Okay, where'd my matte medium go? I like sketching on vacation. So I need to think of maybe summer is my vacation. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the back of the figure. And then I'm going to put some down here where I think he's going to go. Or she. Now hopefully that blue paint is sealed with the matte medium so we don't end up with blue all over this guy. I'm going to put him on the edge of the page. Coming down, we'll angle like this angle here. And if I missed getting underneath, we'll just lift it up a little bit. Go underneath, go on top. There we go. And then Dee Dee uses a card to mash down her collage elements. So I'm just going to use this silicone scraper. Oops, I moved him. Oh well, that's where he is. We'll draw a border. Okay, and I feel like as a juxtaposition to this sort of grungy, angular thing, and he's got like botanical, we should put like a palm tree over here. That glue is golden matte medium. You can also use the matte medium from Walmart, although I find it's not quite as clear as the golden matte medium. And make sure you put your brush in water. Okay, now let's see, palm tree. wonder if this, looking at my collage books to see if I have any big palm trees that would be easy to collage in there. I have a cactus, a mushroom, a pyramid. Speaking of pyramids, if you want to participate in an ATC swap, Keeks, you check out her channel, Keeks Hunt. She and Joanne Newman are hosting a ATC swap that is alien Egyptian themed. And those are some of my favorite topics. Okay, I don't see one there. Maybe in a calendar I could find a palm tree. Sorry, I can't see chat right now. I'm flipping through some calendars from the thrift store. There must be something with a must be something tropical I can use. I don't think a Canadian calendar is going to have a palm tree. What's this one? That might. Western Canada is not going to have a palm tree. The Canadian landscape, I don't think so. World travel, that might have something. Let's see. Oh, here's some palm trees. Let's see. Okay, there's that one. I just want a palm tree. Simple palm tree. Oh, that's also from Barcelona. That's at Park Rail. That's a Gaudi place that I went to. Okay. Let's see. I want a palm tree there. Maybe a big flower. I do have this calendar of flowers. Maybe that would work. Like a big pink flower or something. I don't want to cover up too much. Let's audition that. Could have it in the corner. Remember, if you're using images that aren't from a copyright-free source, you cannot, sell your images. Or this might look cool. This is Page a Week Gallery Wall 2019 flowers. Or you could put this in there. That might be cool. Let's fussy cut this. Where's my scissors? Hey Colleen, good to see you. Long time no see, my friend. Hi Casey. Good to see you here. You're liking the composition, thank you. So let's cut these out. This is from my new stencil design. I'm going fussy cutting stencil scissors out here. So we did a long haul with my new stencil design, which is this Y tube. It's funny that Mariah put it this way up, because in my mind it goes that way. Like this is the top to me, the way I designed it. And the inspiration for that was like an underpass, under a bridge. It's funny, I just noticed that she has it opposite to what I would have done. Hi, Gray. Can you guys still hear me okay? I don't know if Art Junkie Shannon's coming on at 5:15. I haven't seen her here, but sometimes she comes on after me lately. Okay, let's see. Could do that like it's a wave. I don't want to cover that center though. Cut that. So that's one option. We could do that. We can make it like a wave coming around even. That might be cool, like just on the edge there. Let's see what this other flower looks like. Hi, Gina. Good to see you. I was not expecting to do fussy cutting. I tried to pre-fussy cut. Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking, I think this is too big, but I just remembered, I think the Robotropica has, some, what do you call them? Palm trees. I also had cut out this guy too. I thought he would have been cool. We could put both. What if we do that? I could cut the clouds out. Let's see, there's a palm tree. There's the edge of a palm tree there. That's not from the Robotropica. Let's see if any of these ones that I partially dissected have bits of palm tree. This one has a bit of a palm tree up here. That's a lot of fussy cutting though. Oh, here's some palm trees. I'm just making a mess now. There's some palm trees there too. Okay. So you guys are saying yes, put both. I feel like I should cut this cloud out though. And then maybe we could put just a bit of palm tree on the edge here. Ah! Or like, okay, I'm gonna cut a hoverboard. Yeah. Okay, scissors. These ones and my fussy cut ones. Okay, I'm gonna fussy cut this cloud out. I just don't think the cloud goes with it. But I'm gonna rip this part so that it's kind of like water. Power Rangers. And I like this one's lower, like they're coming up to meet each other. I'm gonna cut that. Okay, I like that flower. I still feel like a palm tree would be cool. Would it be cool to go with this green? Okay, I'm just going to we're going to addition this one here. And we can fussy cut more if we like it. I don't think I like the buildings. Maybe. Sorry, it's hard to see chat because I've got all this. I'm gonna rip this for a second. Don't know. I'm not. I might add some palm trees before next week, but I'm not feeling those palm trees. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue him down and this flower down, and then we'll see if it evolves before next week. I wish I would have put the flower down before her hand, because her hand's pretty much down there now. Trying to catch up on chat. Okay, so we're going to put that one down there. Let's just go for it. Let's start with that. Move this over here. Okay, so, oh, I didn't cut in. I need to cut down between this here. Just going to push through. Fussy cut this way. I'm going to tear, fussy tear there. I'm running out of time. I like to keep my streams to 2 hours. Yes, Logan's Run was a classic. Okay, I'm going to put that down. Just using some matte medium. And then I'm making sure I don't have too much water on my brush because it was sitting in my water container. You don't want too much moisture because then you get wrinkling. And that's why I like the collage soup books because the paperweight is nice. It's not too thick and not too thin. It lays down really well. Sometimes magazine images are too thin. Okay, and then I'm going to scrape it with my silicone. Okay. Not bad. And then once it's dry, I'll cut this edge off, but not before it's dry. And then where did our flower go? Maybe there. Because we have like, he's kind of riding on it and then it's coming back to her. I like it. I'm going to put it there just under that. I'm going for it. Going for it, people. So this calendar is a bit thicker paper. Oh, that's way too much matte medium. Ah, I don't like wasting my precious matte medium. Oh well. Not sure if I had enough under there. Okay, and then we're going to scrape our scrapey. I'm going to dry that. And then I think I'll just smudge black around the edges. Let's see. Which book do you have, Lizzie Jean? The Robotropica? Or the calendar? Right there, I don't think there's enough matte medium under it. It was wrinkling in a weird way, so I'm going to add a bit more and ensure full contact. There's a weird wrinkle right there. You got to catch that before it dries fully. Okay, and let's cut the edge. Oh, this mixed media journal, yes, it's good. It's not, it's the Dilutions. This is the larger one. I've had it for a while and I just finally said to myself, okay, girl, you gotta start using it, you know? I don't know, it takes a lot of product, but so far it's okay. Now I do have, so I'm going a little long, I do have this art marker. One of these King Art. What if we just kind of go around the edge here and just smudge it in? If I still want to add some palm trees, I can still do that. I do have another color of that. Let's see if I have a nice like metallic blue. Yes, I have a shimmery aqua or a shimmery blue, or maybe a bit of both. Using a different finger here. Just to blend that in. There we go. Wish I would have had that extend, but maybe we can fix that another day. Okay. I think we're going to call that done for now. Let's zoom in a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the long haul, and I did like my final print. It's just a bit too bright for what I wanted to do. So I feel like maybe I need to go over the yellow with something. I'm not sure. Not sure. But I think this was my favorite pull, this one here, one of the interim pulls on the black paper. So I think that's my favorite pull. And this is the one that went with the concept that I had to start with, which was using the surfer and with the collage soup book. So I think that's it for me for today. Is that where I do my grid? I do my grid in the smaller, the square one. So this is where I do my grid journaling. It's in the smaller journal. So it's the same width, but it's a bit shorter. But I have done grid in here. For example, I did that as a grid. That's a grid with the bridge. That was with the botanical gel print we did. That was with the staircase that we deconstructed. So yeah, so that is it. I think that's it for today. Thank you everybody for coming. I really, really appreciate it. And so I was zoomed in. I can see on the screen I was zoomed in too much on that, but that's okay. Thanks, Christine. Thanks, Dar, for being a fabulous mod. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to come to my live. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. Please like and share and all that YouTube-y stuff. And big hugs back to all of you. And we'll see you guys next week. And we'll do some reverse painting as requested by Diane Bell. All right. Bye-bye. And I have to take it off of my stand so that I can press end.